God, people, right now, we're bringing you through. This is what happens to the Sony ponies when they go out and spend their money on the PS4. This is what happens to them. They come out here and they buy. This is what happens to them. They come out here and they lose all their fucking money, alright? Because they bought this fucking real expensive system. And this is what happens to them. They gotta fucking denigrate themselves and live. They live houses. This is where the Sony ponies will actually end up by residing. Look at this. Typical Sony pony house. Look at that thing. Look at this fucking thing. It's a Sony pony house. Why, the Microsoft militia, well, I'll show you where the Microsoft militia lives. Because, see, the Sony ponies, they don't want to pay for online. They're always saying, you don't pay for online. Well, let me tell you something. The Sony ponies, you don't pay for online. The Microsoft militia, we pay for it. You know why? Because it's the best fucking online ever. Look at it. Typical Sony pony house. Look at it. Sony fucking pony. There's the Sony pony house. Look at that shit. And it ain't a Sony pony. So, I'm going to show you where the Microsoft militia lives right now. I'm going to demonstrate to you where the Microsoft militia lives as opposed to the Sony ponies. Let me show you the Sony ponies in action. Look at this. Let me roll the windows down. Look, Sony pony. There's the Sony pony house. Look at this. This is the Sony ponies. Look at this. This is the Sony pony block right here. This is where you live. Because you bought the Sony, that you guys can't afford the online. Look at the house is all torn down. This is Sony pony block right here, okay? So, you guys, you bitch. Now, there's a nicer house in the Sony pony block, believe it or not. But you guys do nothing but bitch about online. We gotta pay for it, but yet you're about to see. I mean, look at this, Sony pony block. You're about to see where we reside at, the Microsoft militia. You're gonna see. Sony pony. All right, look, I got to stop, son. You got to stop over here because these cats will run them. All right, Sony pony, Sony pony, Sony pony, Sony pony, Sony pony. There's no fucking houses here. The Sony pony. Look at that fucking thing. Look at that fucking thing. So you Sony fucking ponies, you get a rude awakening now when I say where the Microsoft militia live. Microsoft militia fucking family members. What the fuck was that? Huh. Now, as you can see, we left the Sony ponies housing, or as I should say, the inhibited, because let's call a spade, they're abandoned houses. And this, my friend, is where the Microsoft militia people live. The people that own Xboxes, this is where we live. This is where we live. This is what we have. This is how we live. The Sony ponies housing can't compare to this. Anyone that owns the Xbox One, 9 times out of 10 will live in a house like this or a neighborhood like this. You've seen the Sony ponies housing. This is the Xbox. Militias. This is where they live. This is where you live if you own an Xbox One. Hey, doggy, you see that? This isn't housing or abandoned houses. This is where Xbox militia members live. This is where we live. So, if this isn't enough to make you go out and buy an Xbox One and just give you at least some sort of sense of reality and say that you think you live here, then I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I mean, look at this place. This is the Xbox militias. And this is only 3 miles away from the other place. It's 5 minutes away. So like I said, the Xbox militia lives here. And the Sony ponies housing, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, and by the way, did I mention the Xbox militia members drive cars like this too? Did I mention that?